Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This is my review for The Meg, starring Jason Statham and I don't care who else. There's one funny guy in there and he's kind of the leader of the whole expedition, but he's not very important and kind of a side character, and yeah. He plays a very stupid character, like he doesn't have much drive to do anything, so yeah. So Jason Statham's a big star. I always try to see Jason Statham movies ever since The Transporter. He has had a lot of flops in the last couple years. The Mechanic wasn't There's been some other ones. It's been like, Jason, what are you doing, man? Try and do something good. Use your time well. Do something of importance. So I've seen the preview for this movie like a million times, like everybody else. The dog swimming in the water about to get eaten. People talking about Shark Week. I mean, it's been all over. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to see it. And I hate that because I know what's coming. I'm waiting for the parts in the previews. Everything that was in the trailer or the previews on the commercials was in there, which some movies don't do. They, give you like a scene they deleted as part of the preview sometimes, every once in a while. But everything was there. I was waiting for them here and there. I can't talk about this movie too much. The conversation was horrible beyond any kind of expectation I could have had. And I mean, seeing the commercial a million times did not change that for me. Just the way people talk to each other. Hey, one-liner there. Hey, stupid thing there. Hey, something that has nothing to do with anything. Say that there. It was just one after another. It was completely horrible the whole time. I felt so sorry for these people that were in this movie. Some of them, just wanted to be a funny side character, and so they got that accomplished. But there was no purpose for half these characters. And everything was so sappy and so straightforward and so obvious. And I'm almost done watching shark movies. I hated The Shallows. I hated this. I can't connect with them. I don't know if people just don't know how to make a whole movie out of it anymore. We're starting to hear things about how sharks are kind of endangered and looked upon poorly, and they only kill like 6 people a year. People are starting to feel sorry for sharks, to be honest, in the real world. So some of these movies are going to kind of go over people's heads. And I thought this would be entertaining. It had a funny guy in it, had Jason Statham, it had this character, that character. But then they have to shoot themselves in the foot. They have a couple of different Chinese people because supposedly this area is off the Chinese border. But, okay, it says 200 miles off of the Chinese border. It says that up on the screen. It's like you're not really in China then, are you? You might have some Chinese people, but it sounds like it's kind of a non-territorial kind of place. So why do we have to make it about the Chinese? And why do they get to speak in their language and we have to read subtitles? If you're going to have a mainstream commercials a million times on the TV kind of a movie, let's not have subtitles. Huh? If your goal is purely entertainment, violence, and comedy, and that's about it, then let's not have subtitles. Let's just throw that to the side, please. Okay? There's a stupid little romance brewing. At the end, it's like, oh, they like each other. A couple people die. We don't make any kind of big deal about it. The way people talk to each other is just horrible. The way people are like talking when they're in the water, like this one bigger guy, I think they call him Walrus. He's just like, oh yeah, look at my leg, man. Whoa, I'm so like sexy, man. It's like, what are you doing? This is like the biggest shark in history. And that never comes across, like ever, except for people saying, oh, I don't want to deal with this prehistoric, monster. I'm like, what? A prehistoric monster. I'm like, no, it's the biggest freaking shark in the world ever. Like that, I mean, like, even when they start battling it and trying to throw bombs at it and trying to outsmart it, like, that never comes across. Like, people are actually not really, really scared of it. Like, they should be more scared of this than freaking Godzilla. Because Godzilla is at least a, kind of a natural phenomenon or something. I mean, he's still a monster, but this is the biggest ever. It's called the Meg for a reason. And that just never comes across. So 2 good things, okay? I'm going to calm down after 5 minutes here. There's a time of self-sacrifice from a parent or a friend or something. And that's really a good, effective thing to put into a movie. And I appreciated that when it happened. And there's like an emotional speech by this funny guy. And there's a couple of tears shed and... throughout the movie, I mean, there's a couple of tears shed, and that's good effect. I mean, you can tell these people are actually human and not just robots spewing out stupid lines for a movie. So the emotional part of it was nice. It was a nice break from the stupidity, but I tell you, this thing was just so bad. Honestly, the Meg was painted out to be just like a normal shark. And, all these lines about Shark Week and tagging him and shooting him and, using bait, they really just treated him like a real shark. I expected it to go up a level. I expected it to be something else other than what we've seen before. And, I mean, it just never comes across that way. It's another shark movie. I cannot tell you how bad the conversations are. The writing for this movie is atrocious. I've never seen anything hardly this bad at all. It's up there with Sharknado. For anybody who's actually put themselves through the Sharknado movies like I have, I ended up liking them one after another, and they're bad. But they're more entertaining than the Meg. And that's kind of sad. And they're never going to make another Meg. They're making 5 or 6 Sharknados. So... I'm just going to give this a D- and move on with my life. And don't waste your money, folks. If you watch this review, do not waste your money on the Meg in theaters. Please. If you have to spend $5 on Saturday morning matinee, I guess. But don't spend $40 at the concessions and put yourself through this torture fest, okay? All right. I'm not a shark guy at all, but I have seen all the shark movies. And I'm telling you that this is horrible. So, D- for the Meg. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. Sorry about my voice. I'm getting healed up pretty quick here. So, thanks a lot, guys. If you like this or any of my other reviews, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And don't watch the Meg. But enjoy your movies. Thanks.